Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, before I present my proposal, let me introduce myself first. My name is NURUL HIDAYATI. I am student at Hamzanodi University and I am 7th semester. The first one, let me introduce my title that I choose is the effect of cognitive emotional dialect on second language development to increase speaking for English foreign language learner. And why I choose this title? I choose this title since it increased my interest. This is based on my personal experience, specifically when I'm doing a presentation, whether in group or individually. Almost all material searched for on the internet. But sometimes we only know how to read result we are looking for on the internet without first filtering or understanding what we have searched for on the internet. Yeah. As a result, their flow in transmitting information. Why it is the case? Because if we understand what we are trying to say during a presentation, then all aspects of the body, including emotion on the face or body gesture, action, and word choice, will function together. This also has a major impact on our audience if they don't comprehend what we're saying. Expression of emotion and body gesture can help them grasp. This has a significant impact on audience who do not grasp or do not fully comprehend the language. In other words, when we speak, we must be accompanied by expression of emotion, body gesture, and selection appropriate word, all of which must have based on a knowledge of the material gained, rather than simply copying and pasting from the internet. Let's go to the first slide. In the first slide, there is the background of study. The background of study involves a focus on various aspects of English language learning, including the impact of action, cultural context in the textbook, the influence of watching cartoon or on pronunciation, and a conceptual framework for creative second language learning. Additionally, the proposal aims to investigate the effect of cognitive emotional dialect on second language development, especially focusing on improving speaking skill for English as foreign language learners. And the study seeks to contribute to the field of second language acquisition by exploring the complex relationship between cognitive process and emotional state in human behavior. So in this slide we have a problem of study, which is the problem of study is talking about understanding how cognitive emotional factors interact the influence language learning, especially focusing on improving speaking skill for English as foreign language learners. And the study aims to address the complex relationship between cognitive process and emotional states in human behavior and how this affects second language acquisition. Okay, let me answer. In this slide, we have the purpose of study. The purpose of study is to investigate the effect of cognitive emotional dialect on second language development, especially focusing on improving speaking skill for English as a foreign language learners. And the study aims to contribute to the field of second language acquisition by exploring the complex relationship between cognitive process and emotional state in human behavior, with a focus on increasing speaking proficiency for English foreign language learners. These studies focus on the interplay between cognitive and emotional factors in second language development, with a specific emphasis on improving speaking skill for English as a foreign language learners. This study aims to explore how cognitive and emotional aspects influence language learning, with the goal of increasing speaking proficiency. By investigating the cognitive and emotional dimension of second language development, educators and researchers can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by English foreign language learners in developing their speaking skill. This knowledge can inform the design to effective. No, I'm sorry. This knowledge can inform the design of effective teaching strategies, instructional materials, and intervention to increase speaking proficiency and create a positive learning experience for English foreign language learners. And next one is the significance of study. The significance of this study lies in its exploration of the cognitive emotional dialect and its impact of second language development, particularly in improving speaking skills for English as foreign language learners. By investigating how cognitive and emotional factors interact, the influence language learning. This study aims to contribute to the field of second language acquisition. The research has practical implications for educators and learners, offering insight that can be applied to the development of speaking skills among English foreign language learners. Additionally, the studies focus on the interplay between cognitive process and emotional states in language learning has the potential to provide valuable contributions to the understanding of human behavior in the context of language acquisition. The next is chapter 2 is theoretical. The first one is there is cognitive emotional dialect. The terms dialectics signifies bidirectional relationship where two elements mutually influence each other, creating a feedback loop. Suhesti and Delivery and Widowati D 2023. So in this context, cognitive emotional dialects point to the back and forth cyclical nature of thinking emotion interconnections. And the next one is development of second language. Second language is the process of learning and becoming proficient in a language other than one's mother tongue in refers to as a second language development, while not the same as a second language acquisition SLA is the connected on the O3L 2014. And next is speaking skills. Speaking skills refer to one's ability to verbally communicate ideas, thought, and feeling in a second language. Speaking skill encompass several components, including fluency, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, comprehension, pragmatic skill, strategic competence, and confident outcome by LDAM 2020. 2022. And the last one is the English foreign language learners, which it refers to students who are learning English in a non-English speaking environment, in a place where English is not the native or primary language. English learners primarily learn in the classroom with limited exposure to authentic spoken English, in a few opportunities for outside practice heritage by M. Walkie and A. Lequanti or 2020. Okay, let's move to the other slide. It's talking about the theoretical framework. The theoretical framework of this study is based on the concept of cognitive emotional dialogue, which emphasizes the dynamic interaction between cognitive process and emotional experiences in language learning. This framework aims to explore how cognitive and emotional factors influence second language development, particularly in the context of improving speaking skill for English as a foreign language learners. The study also draws on established cognitive theories such as information processing models and emotional theories such as the affective filter hypothesis to understand the dynamic interaction between cognitive and emotional factors during language learning. Additionally, the framework process the model that illustrates the dynamic interaction between cognitive and emotional factors, highlighting how emotional states can influence cognitive processing and linguistic performance during speaking tasks. Okay, the next is the chapter 3, which in the chapter 3, the research was conducted at Hamzanwadi University using a quantitative random sampling method with in 20 class 7A students as participants. This proposal is taking 3 months from October to December to complete the proposal. The next slide is a technique of collecting data. There are 3 types to collecting data. The first one is observation. According to Yendra 2018, defines observation as the process of gathering information by directly observing people and place at the research site. This research focuses on understanding the percentage process at Hamzanwadi University, specifically the buying and selling process. The observation period from 12 to 14 November aims to understand the reciprocal process in this percentage and identify problems faced by students when interacting with others. Observation is a crucial method for understanding and addressing issues in English research. And the second one is interview. Interviews are used by researchers to assess or obtain information about students' understanding. For example, looking for data about the extent of students' understanding when speaking or something the researcher wants to know more about the subject. At this research location, interviews were conducted on November 12, 14, Hamzanwadi University. The student researchers provide several questions or interview guides to students obtain information. By interviewing students, researchers find out, find out what problem students experience in speaking English. And the last one is the questionnaires. According to Suharsini, researchers are distributing questionnaires to students at Hamzanwadi University to gather response on their English speaking difficulties. The questionnaires, which are a list of questions given the respondents and to identify the obstacles students face in speaking English. The research will take place from November 12-14 during the same time as the interview, guide, and observation time. In the next slide is talking about the data analysis. As you can see in the slide, data analysis is a systematic process of organizing and analyzing data to identify patterns in research. It involves three main stages: data reduction, data presentation, and conclusion drawing or verification. Data collection involved observation, questionnaires, and documentation to gather data. And data reduction involves summarizing, choosing the subject matters, focusing on important things, and discarding unnecessary data. And the next is data presentation, involved presenting the data in qualitative research, such as using categories or flowcards. The final stage is drawing conclusion or verification, which aims to derive compelling conclusion from the study, identifying issues and recommending appropriate action. For example, researchers use the student difficulties in speaking in a class questionnaire to identify the primary cause of speech difficulties. That is the last slide, but let me give you some conclusion of mine. So the effect of cognitive emotional dialect on second language development to increase speaking for English foreign language learners is the research has shown that cognitive and affective factors play a crucial role in language learning. Understanding this relationship requires understanding the Fiction idea of fair within, which considers an individual's social-cultural context, emotional experience, and the interactional between emotion, cognition, and actify are essential in language learning, especially when teaching English foreign language. Therefore, recognizing and addressing the cognitive emotional dialect is crucial for improving speaking skill for English foreign language students. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.